going to be making 2 bows out of this buffalo check ribbon. The first bow is a 6-loop bow, which is basically like 2 sets of 3. And it'll be just a small bow about like this, about a 6-7 inch bow. And the other bow that I'm going to show you how to make is going to be a large tree topper bow. And yeah, that's all we need to do. That's all you need to know for us to get started. So this is, I believe, a 2.5 inch ribbon. It will perform a little bit differently depending on the width that you have. If it's really wide, it's harder to make smaller ones. You can imagine why. I cannot recommend enough getting a wired ribbon. If you don't get a wired ribbon, it's going to be completely different the way that it comes out. So you can do it without the wire, but I would recommend getting it with a wire. Okay, so you're going to want to start off by leaving what will be your tail. If you want a really long tail on your ribbon, you're going to want to leave it a little longer. For the smaller bow, I think this is about enough. It's about 6 inches. And I'm just going to start right here at that 6-inch mark and make a very tight twist. So you can see it's a very, very tight twist. You don't want to make something that's kind of loose and, you know, like that. It needs to be a very tight one single twist. Okay, then you're going to puff that out a little bit to make kind of a button. So all the bows have a little button to start them off. So fold some under like this, and then you're going to grab it where you just pinched it. Okay, it's a little bit hard, but this is where you get practice. So in here, I have the little twist that I made, and I have where I'm going to make my next twist. Pinched very tightly. Your hand will get sore here. Make another twist, very, very tightly again, and now you should be holding on to 2 twists. It's getting thicker. 2 twists right there. Okay, and then you're going to come out in front of you, as you can see here. I think you can see here. I'm going to come out from that, and you're going to measure, you know, about how you want it, however big. I think these are about 5 inches. I'm going to, my finger is right here right now, but I'm going to pull it out, being careful to still hold those pinches together. I'm going to kind of gather it together a little bit to get ready for that twist, and twist again. Okay, so now I'm holding 3 twists in that finger. I'm going to do it again here, make another one on the other side. Put my finger under there and make a really solid twist. Okay, so at this point I have this. My hand's already starting to hurt a little bit from holding these together. So you're really holding them tight. That's real important that they be held tightly. Okay, so then we're just going to keep on. Going to make another one out here. So we have the first one and the second one. We're just stacking them. Put our finger back here to hold it to make a strong twist, and then put your other finger down to hold it. Again, making one just like that. You want to gather it up because that helps make the twist. And then you're going to twist it tightly. You want to make sure and twist the same direction every time, or they're actually kind of untying each other. So you don't want to do that. Just twist the same way every time, very tightly, until you have 3 loops on each side. Okay, now you want to hold on to this very, very tightly until you got the wire in. So I am using floral wire, and this is 22 gauge. It doesn't have to be 22. It could be something on either side of 22 would probably work as well. You're going to, remember that button that we did at the beginning? You're going to put the wire through that. Okay, so the wire is through the button. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm going to lift up my thumb that's inside the button to put that wire right on top of those twists. And then you see the 2 tails of this wire. I'm going to bring them back to the back. Now I need to switch hands at this point so I can make a twist. That's fine as long as you just really hold on to it, you can do that. So then you're going to pull it tightly. You've got it held in your hand, but you're also going to pull these wires really tightly and make a twist with the wires. At this point, you can let go of the twist that you've been holding. You can look at where the wire is connected, and you can pull it and make sure that there's not much gap right here. So I like to pull it out a little bit more, and if I can get rid of that gap, I'll get rid of it even more. You can use pliers for this part if you want. Just want to get a good twist on it. And then you'll have two, forgive me for looking at the screen, I'm trying to make sure you can see it. You have two wires here. Okay, so at this point you have a bow that looks something like this, which is fine, but it's not the spread out pretty holiday bow that we're going for. So you want to cut the other tail similar to the one that you already have. I like to cut them on an angle. Okay, and then you're going to hold it like this, and you're going to basically pull every other one a different direction. So I usually pull the first one down on this side and also the first one down on this side. And then I'll pull the second one up. And sometimes it doesn't want to go up all the way, but if you really pull it, you can kind of feel it slip into place. And you can put that out. It's like it slides into its place. Okay, and then you can leave this third one in the back. And that is just a classic 6-loop bow. That will look really pretty in your Christmas tree or on whatever you want to put it on. A really pretty simple way to decorate your tree. So now I will show you how to make a tree topper. We still need a tree topper for this tree. So for the tree topper, we're going to make a really big bow. I'm thinking it will probably be a 10-loop bow, which will be 5 on each side. And the loops, rather than being about 6 inches, they're going to be closer to 7, 8 inches. So we're going to end up with a big bow, a very big full bow. This is going to be harder to hold on to than the other one, so get ready. I want to leave a really nice long tail since it is a tree topper, so this is about 1 foot that I'm going to leave. I want to go ahead and have my wire ready because my hand will be very tired by the time I get to the point where I can tie this bow off. Okay, so again, we're going to start just like we did, pinching the wired ribbon and twisting it tightly, and then bring it around underneath it, hold it with your finger and your thumb, and make another tight twist. Okay, and then just kind of straighten that out to where it's all facing forward. Now it kind of starts off, it's facing to the side. Just want to kind of get it lined up. If you need to lift your finger up and put it back down, that's fine, as long as that twist stays solid. Then I'm going to make my loops. I would say that's probably 7 or 8 inches as opposed to the 5 or 6 inches of the other one. Okay, so I pulled my finger out and I put it back here. Okay, and I'm going to make a very tight twist there. Okay, and now I'm going to pull up my other one. This is exactly the same process that we just did. So I'm holding it together. This finger's on the outside. My twist is being held here. I'm going to let go enough to twist it. I want to always twist it in the same place and the same direction. If you feel that you've let go of your ribbon, you need to start over because it just will not hold shape. So if you feel like you've let go of it, generally you're going to need to start over. Okay, it really helps if you kind of gather it up before you twist it. I'm on my second loop on that side, second loop on this one. Again, I've got this finger holding it until I'm ready to twist, then I take my finger out of the way make a tight twist, back to holding it with my index finger. Now I have 2 on each side. Hand is getting really tired at this point. I'm going to transfer it for a second and hold on to it. I don't know if I'd recommend that if you're still learning, but it is really hard to hold on to this much ribbon at one time. Okay, back to holding it tight again. Okay. Get that last twist kind of straightened out again. Okay, so now I'm on to ribbon or loop number 3. Keep going. We're doing the same thing over and over. Number 3, twist. Number 4, same thing. You need to slow this down and watch it one step at a time, that's fine, but it is a repetition of the steps, so I don't want to hold it too long to talk about it. Okay, I now have 4 loops, and I wanted 5 on each side, so I'm going to do one more. You know, in the past they told you to make all these loops a different size. I really have had just as good of a luck making them pretty much all the same size. So I don't worry about the different lengths for the different loop. Like loop 1 was a certain size and loop 2 was a certain size. I went ahead and transferred it to the other hand, making sure not to let any of those twists go. And then I'm going to thread the wire through the button again. I'm going to put my thumb on top of that wire so I can hold it really well. Come back to the back. One tail should be on this side, one tail should be on this side, because this last twist that we made, this last twist was one of those tails. And you need to make sure you get that in the ribbon. That twist, that last tail piece needs to be in the wire. Then twist it really tight and check and make sure and see if you can get it any tighter. You can get it a little bit tighter. Okay. So now you can relax. You've got your bow basically built. You just need to cut it and fluff it. I'm going to cut it at an angle again. I don't worry about which direction I'm cutting because, you know, it's all going to work out. Okay, so then you have your bow, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to bring the first one up, and if it pulls up another one, I'm just going to put that one back in place. Pull the first one on the other side up. They kind of lock into place, fluff them out a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to do the second one down. These loops are not the same size. I didn't get them the same size. That's okay because you can fluff them and make them look fine. Then bring the third one up even higher than the first one. Fluff them a little bit. And then now I'm on the fourth one. I'm going to bring it all the way to the bottom. So now it's the lowest one. And then I'm going to bring the fifth one. I'm going to look at it and see. And in my case, let's look at it. I think that I'm going to leave the fifth one where it is, which is in the middle. I think it looks good there. Okay, so you can't really tell which loops are which anymore, but there was the first one, and then the second one came down, the third one came up even higher in the back, fourth one came out even lower in the bottom, and then the fifth one, I just fluffed it in the back. So after you get it all done, you're gonna have some loose ribbon again, loose wire again, almost always. So just give it another twist. Make sure that that all holds in place. And then you have a really nice, pretty tree topper bow. I'm gonna try to put it on the top of the tree now. Got your two wires that you used, and you're going to use that to secure it to the very top. If you'll notice, I turned down the top of my Christmas tree because that looks kind of scraggly when it's just one up there. I am going to pull the tree a little bit over toward me so I can reach it. Grab the top of the branch. Now you don't want to put it on the very tip top. That'll look like it's perched up there in a weird way. I'm putting it basically where the branch joins the tree. Okay, so it's tight on there, and then you just adjust it to however you want it. And pull those ribbons out however you like. Stand back and see if you like it, which I think it looks pretty good. And that's how you make a tree topper bow. Another thing that you can do is you can make these streamers very long and bring them down or weave them in. So that's another nice thing that you can do. 2 different kinds of bows. Let me know if you try it. Let me know if the instructions were clear. So I hope it was helpful, and I hope you have fun making your bows for your Christmas tree. Thanks for watching.